What's up, everybody? It's Stephen Williams, founder and president of the CreditRepairShop.com. I apologize, the camera is dark, but I don't know what to do about fixing that. But in today's video, I want to talk, it's not going to go too much into debt and collections and credit repair, but I'm going to talk about the feeling, how you, the reasons why we even care about fixing our credit and repairing uh, our credit and getting out of debt and all of that stuff, because it's the feeling is what's going to bring to you. Talk about a couple of testimonials that people put up on YouTube. Also, I just figured out that if I missed your comment, this is what happens. If I missed your comment, I apologize, but this is the reason why I could miss your comment. If you post a comment and then someone spams a reply on that comment, it throws it into the spam section on the comments for YouTube, and I didn't know that, so I'm going to be checking both of those. But that's why I maybe missed. You had a good question, but someone posted a spam comment below trying to get people to go to a website or to some other place, and that knocks your comment and that spam comment into a different section, and I didn't even really pay attention to those. So let's first talk about some testimonials that happened. Someone that posted that they had 5 of their cases dismissed with prejudice. 3 of them of the debt collectors didn't even bother to come into court, and I had talked about that when you do a debt validation, or even sometimes just showing up to court and showing that you're going to fight. But more than likely, when you do a debt validation and they say that they either don't respond or they say that they are going to dismiss it, you still have to show up to court to make sure that they're going to do it, because what they'll do is they'll try to just wait and see if you don't show up, even though they told you they're going to dismiss it. And if you don't show up to court, the judge is just gonna look for you, and if you don't show up, they're gonna get him a default judgment. From this testimonial here, person said that they got 5 dismissed, 3 of them didn't bother to show up to court. That means that 2 of them did. 2 of them were expecting to potentially get default judgments. Congratulations, and they're dismissed with prejudice. Dismissed with prejudice means that they can never bring those back. Can never bring those back. And I've talked about it before. If you get a case dismissed, ask the judge to dismiss it with prejudice, so there's no way that they can bring that back in the future. Another person put on here that they can't lie, that they're afraid of wage garnishment, and is there anything that they can do to protect themselves? Well, the first thing you need to do is to run down this checklist of people that they can't garnish. If you're earning under a certain amount of money, you have to look at your state laws for seeing how much money you're able to earn before they could garnish you. A lot of people don't know about that law, but and even the debt collectors will collect the money even though they know that they can't collect it from you, but because you don't know and you didn't ask the right questions and the judge isn't going to tell you, they're going to allow them to garnish your money. Good thing for you, though, is that the law is always on your side when it comes to garnishments, and you can get that. If you've paid a garnishment and you've learned that you should not be able to be garnished, you can submit and have that money given back to you because of that. All you have to do is just write a letter to them notifying them that you have recently become aware that that you are not able to be garnished, and that you want them to return all of that money and cease the garnishment. You also send that letter to the judge and they will stop it. That's if you're working and you're just not making enough money. The way that most states base it is on your income, and they'll give you write-offs on your dependents. So if minus your income and the dependents, there's a certain amount of money that you are allowed to make before you can be garnished, and that's how that's going to be figured. Sometimes it's figured on a weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. It just depends on your state that you live in, but you can get that money back, and that goes into the other testimonial that was someone had placed. I cannot, let's see if his name is on here. He had, let's see if it's on here. He can't see it now. But a while back, he had student loans. He was being garnished the money from a debt collector. And I had notified him, number one, that if these schools were fraudulent schools, I can't remember exactly what his was, but the to get straight to the point, he was being garnished. I told him what to do. He sent the paperwork to them. They gave that money back plus the other payments, and he just sent another statement thanking me again and saying that he had just purchased a $300,000 home for him and his family. They're moving on in their lives. I mean, congratulations. Thank you for following my instructions and doing the work. And all things are possible. You never know what the solution is going to be until you start doing the work and putting it out there. Next thing is there's no debt that has been released into the market. And the reason why I believe is because they already have the buyers lined up. They don't need to put it out in the market for sale because they have debt collectors that are saying, if you have it, I'm going to buy it. And if another debt collection company wants to pay more for it, we'll pay more for it. They're actually fighting right now like it's an auction, like it's eBay or something. They're fighting in the debt collectors auctions and saying, hey, we'll bid to get it, because they know that they can make millions of dollars when they buy these, because people don't know their rights when it comes to these charge-offs and write-off accounts that they're purchasing. They're purchasing millions of dollars worth of accounts for only a couple of $1,000s. So they're going to roll the dice and take the risk on collecting these charge-offs and write-offs, even though they're past the statute of limitations. So now let's get into some things that I want to share with you, because it is a holiday. Yes, I am here in the office. I decided to work on the holiday because it's been like I've been on a constant holiday since been at home. First thing I want to show, here's a picture of me in the Army. I was in the United States Army back in 1987. I was 17 years old. I was a infantryman gunner on Mortar Gunner, on a 4-deuce gunner, which is like a tank, not a tank, but they call it an APC, and it had a mortar gun out the back of it, and we used to shoot the mortars to clear out the space. So what they would do is they would call us up, and they would say they see the enemy in front of them. These are the scouts. They see them in front, and they need us to clear out, a section so they can push through. And when we cleared it out, it's going to be for the scouts, and then the tanks are going to come in, and we're just clearing it out. So my job was very important, because number one, they would give me the coordinates, and I would have to dial that in on this mortar gun in really within seconds, because you don't got time to waste. And it had to be right, because if I didn't do it right, I would end up having the mortar rounds come down on our soldiers, on our people. So this was a very serious job. I think this is probably why, like, when I do things, I take it very serious, because that was one where people's lives were in danger if I was to just be doing it halfway. Not going to use any cuss words here, but doing it halfway and not putting in the right coordinates and clearing it out. the way that it needs to be. But the way that they would do it is they would give it to the sergeant. Sergeant would give me the coordinates. I would have to dial those coordinates in. They would give me, I would move over. They would give me the round, and then I would put that round there, and I would have to go down the mortar tube, because if I brought my hand back over, I would blow my hand off, because it was like a second drop, boom, it's gone. And I'm talking about like a huge forward-deuce explosion, like boom. I even have hearing problems in this ear because I would bring it down, and the tube was right there, and it would just, like, soon as it hit that pin, it was gone. And I would stay down until that, and then just imagine this, we would have to clear out a whole section, and so we would fire, boom, move it over, fire, boom, move it over, fire, boom, because you have to clear out sections. The enemy is not just in one spot. They're spread out. So we would have to do the coordinates and spread out all of those areas. You've probably seen this in different movies that you've probably seen, where it's like war movies and there are missiles going over, or mortar bomb, we call them missiles, going over their heads of the soldiers. They're calling it in and they're clearing it out, and then they go in. That's what they would do. But here's my picture. So my thank you to myself for service. And I want to talk a little bit about doing what you thought you couldn't do. When one of the hardest things that I think for people to understand about their credit and debt is that they have the power. You have the power to get it done, but a lot of times people are fearful. They're scared. They don't think that they could do it. And I wanted to just show you some things that I did that I didn't think I could do. And what happened with this is that I was pushed past my boundaries. And that's what I try to do for you when I do the videos here on about credit and debt, is that I try to push you past the boundaries, because a lot of stuff is not going to be done until you mentally accept that it can be done. And these are awards that I was given. One of these was that, and I had never shot nothing more than a BB gun in my whole life before I went to the military. And I ended up getting a certificate of achievement for being an excellent rifleman. That means that I can shoot in a circle the target, like they would give you, these silhouettes, and I would hit it like barely, like I could hit so good that I would knock out that piece of paper in a circle with the bullets. Here was another one here where I ran 100 miles in, this was 1 month, 100 miles. This was 50 miles in 1 week. This one here was another award for my shooting capability. This was another one for, this was just for, well, I won't say just, it was my training. This is when I got promoted. This was another one for, I guess, walking with 100 pounds on my back. All of that was, I just bring that up because during the whole time was, I didn't understand, and if I understood it, I would have even got more out of it. Is that when you do things, you should be doing it for the experience. You're going through credit and debt problems right now. But what you don't understand is that this is an experience. This is not a downturn in your life. This is not the end of your financial future. This is an experience that you'll be able to talk about in the future. You'll be able to talk about and give other people advice on how you were able to overcome it. You will be able to draw personal strength from yourself on how you were able to overcome it, to help you do more in your life, to allow you to push for more in your life. The more that I understand this is like where you, even for me and for you, is where when you understand this fully, this is where you draw that personal power from within, where you start to understand that you hold the keys to everything that you want. I give you information to help you with your credit and debt, but you hold the power to do something with it. You hold the power to try things. You hold the power within you to believe in yourself that no matter what, you're going to be able to accomplish and get to where you want to be. That's what I try to get to you. That's what I do for myself every day. That's what I do when I do visualizations every morning for myself. And that's what you should be doing for yourself for visualization. Here's something here where back in 2010, I pulled this out of my vault. And this is to show you how serious I am about goal setting, how serious I am about writing it down, how serious I am about visualization. This was a goal that I had set for myself back in 2010. And look at all of the times that I wrote it. I would write it 10 times a day. 10 times a day. Look at this. I would write it 10 times a day. Like, look at all of these sheets. I wrote the same thing 10 times a day, and I said it to myself 10 times a day. Here is a notebook where I wrote it over and over and over and over and over. Look at that. Even when I didn't have a good pen, I wrote it in green, lime green. Wrote it over, and I did this for 6 straight months. 6 straight months. And at that time, what I wanted for myself was to make, for one of my businesses, $48,000 per month. $48,000 per month. It had a grateful statement in it. It had a now statement. And what ended up happening is I achieved that, and I actually got that business to $65,000 a month. Now, I say that number just because that might awaken your financial side of you to say that if you're struggling and you do something like this, you can get to where you want to be. But this is the statement that I wrote over and over, and it says that I deserve to be earning $48,000 or more every month as of July 4th, just coming up on this, July 4th of 2010 or sooner. I am grateful to be a man who can earn $48,000 or more every month. It is July 4th, 2010. I am earning at least $48,000 every month. I'm proud and excited about my income. I inspire those around me, and I'm grateful to be a man who can earn $48,000 or more every month. That I said that 10 times a day, and I wrote it 10 times a day, and I said $48,000 a month, and I ended up getting to $65,000 a month. And some months were even higher. I made it to $100,000 a month in that business. And I had become aware of this from a good friend of mine named Clint Arthur. He is a mentor of mine. You've probably seen him on national TV, radio. He has a radio show in New York. And we did this. I joined his online class. It was called The Last Year of Your Life. Now, it had a meaning of, if this was the last year of your life, how much would you push? What would you do? What would you want? Like personal, physically, mentally, everything. Like, what would you change? And then when you say you want to change it, you have to actually do it. You can't just be like, I'm just going to do this and not do it. You actually have to do it. So if you had to apologize to someone or you wanted to forgive someone, you had to actually do it. And I had learned a lot about myself in that. The reason why I took the class, though, was because I had kind of been on cruise control with my business, making good money, obviously making good money even before this goal, but I had been on cruise control and I wanted to push myself even more. And I'd end up pushing a lot harder after I got this going for all of my businesses to where made a lot more money. But more than that, it was about, I got more experiences. I learned more about myself. I learned more about that it's fear is just something that is put into us from what we thought we couldn't do. Like I had just showed you what I did in the army, and what they do is they push the fear out of you. They make you do it. But see, I can't make you do it. People can't make us do it when they're trying to motivate you to do something or to have something or to be something or to make more money and all of that. They can't like push you like they can do in the army. So you have to figure out the way that the human mind works, how our subconscious and our conscious mind works. And when you figure that out, you will learn that a lot of things that we're afraid of is just because we're fearful, that we have doubts about ourselves, and these doubts come from family members that maybe told us things, or from our environment, from what we learned growing up, and that's passed on to us. So you have to, I don't want to say push through it. You just have to acknowledge that fear, and you have to go for what you want. And whatever happens during that middle period of time is just an experience. And that's why I always talk about it's just an experience. Looks like we're having some, I'm hoping I'm not having any camera problems. Also, if you've been trying to visit my website, there's been some server issues, not with my website, so to speak. There's a problem with the hosting company that I'm using. I'm not going to mention their name here because I don't want to get the video flagged, but the website will be up. It's not something on our part, it's something on their part. They're claiming that they had an update patch on all of their servers and it made certain ones go down. So right now, if you try to visit our website, it is not going to come up. Post your comments here if you need any help. We'll be able to help you here until that gets up. Well, let's see here just to make sure I didn't forget anything. So make sure that you're doing your daily visualization that I talked about. Make sure that you are thanking yourself and congratulating yourself for things that you accomplished. You deserve it. Don't let anyone tell you you don't deserve what you want. And again, set those goals. Write them down. Read them. Say them out loud. Visualize. Not only seeing yourself achieving those goals, also feel yourself achieving those goals. Feel it. Feel that happening. Excellent videos to watch on that is Reverend Ike here on YouTube, and also purchase his long one. Some of the ones here are just introductory audios. You need to purchase the ones that they have on the website. Those are hour-long sessions. Some of them are a little longer than that. All right, I'm going to end the video here. Please subscribe to the channel. If you need help, visit the website, thecreditrepairshop.com. Post your comments, share, subscribe. Please like this video. And until next time, this is Stephen Williams, founder and president of thecreditrepairshop.com. Thank you.